Yes, sir. Welcome back, gentlemen. I've been documenting the last 237 days of me becoming a millionaire and running this agency. In that time, we've sent over 300,000 cold emails already. We've booked over 200 appointments probably at this time. And here's the crazy part. A lot of people are overcomplicating this right now. How to actually get replies on cold email. And I speak to a lot of people all the time, and they're doing everything completely wrong. They're asking for the calls first, and what's actually been working for us is something super simple. I call the I already did this for you framework. So instead of sending a long fucking 6-line pitch and asking for a call on the first email, we show up with value that looks like it's already done and looks like we already did research on their company. So the main basics are like, hey, I already made this for you. Do you want it? All right. And it flips the whole dynamic of cold email. So people don't really feel pitched, but more so that they feel helped. And this will completely break the friction in all your cold emails and book you a ton of calls and make you a bunch of money. I'm just gonna get right into it. Just so you guys don't think I'm baloney and just some random speaking out of my ass here. Here are just some examples of the replies we got with this exact framework. Sure, I'm open to the scripts. Send it to me. Please send it to me. Yes. Hi, I would love to hop on a call. Sounds interesting. Happy to chat. Yes, like you guys can tell it works. All right. It's getting a lot of positive replies, and we've actually seen a 50% positive reply rate with this method. Here's the exact script we used for this. All right. Let me see it. All right. First name. We're helping type of company founders land 2 to 5 new paying users per month by setting up a done-for-you outreach engine in 30 days. To show you it works, I've already written some outreach scripts for a company name that you can use right away. No strings attached. Should I send it here, or is LinkedIn better? So you guys get a feel of where I came up with this strat name. And I'm just going to bust right into this, bro. So the initial cold email. All right, this is the first point of contact, and it is the most important point of contact. The copy here has to be short and concise. It has to spark curiosity, and it has to have a feeling of something easy to say yes to. When they read this email, all right, with the strat, the main point is to just get a yes or sure, send it over, or sure. What you guys can do is come up with a bunch of different lead magnets. For example, we run a lead gen agency, and some examples are free scripts or free leads or free info build out or free outbound strat. And this is something you guys need to test on your own. So you take one piece of your service that you can do for cheap, all right, quick, and shows your competency. Again, it's going to take some testing to get it right. So get a list of 3 to 5 different lead magnets that you think your ICP would genuinely find useful. Like, what would make their day easier with one piece of your service that doesn't take much time? It's easy to make. Keep the same copy structure and just test lead magnets. So your copy should be under 70 words, at least for the test, because you don't need to make it longer. Like, go back to this example. See how short and concise it is? And people ate it up because it's easy to read. You're not giving them cognitive overload. And it's something that we've tested, and it's something that a lot of people want, at least in our industry. So the best way to structure your tests for these actually is to make up on your sequence ones 5 different variations. All right. And in these 5 different variations, you should be testing different offers. So this first line up here, this is an offer. We help founders land 2 to 5 new paying users per month by setting up a done-for-you outreach engine in 30 days. So we tested this, and your offer overall remains the same, but the wording of it changes every time. For example, instead of saying we help founders land 2 to 5 new paying users, in our other variation, we could test we help founders get 30 to 50 new qualified meetings per month. Sometimes different ICPs will resonate more with the second one than the first one, even though it's the same fucking offer. So make 5 different offers, I would say. And then in the second line, this is the actual lead magnet. Ours was, I've already written some outreach scripts for company name that you can use right away. No strings attached. This, in our case, was outreach scripts. And we've obviously tested other ones, but this is the one that stuck to the wall. Then obviously follow it up with a CTA that's super clean, and it gives them an option. So go back here. The main magic in this is to show that I already made this for you. I already did the research in your company and I already know the specifics. Do you want me to send this over? So it shows that we took our precious time out of our day to research the company and to make an asset, which makes your job way easier, tailored to their company. So psychologically, the recipient's brain will automatically and most times lead to a yes or a sure, send it over. Cool stuff. And then as soon as you get that positive reply, they're in the funnel. All right. The next part is like the CTA we used here was super effective because it basically tells a prospect that I'm going to send this over to you anyways. Where do you want it? And then follow up with illusion of choice. Do you want me to send it on email or is LinkedIn better? And honestly, that CTA just sounds way more human and it differentiates yourselves from everyone else in your inbox. Cut the friction from the recipient, start more conversations, build trust, and get your foot in the door with one email. That is your goal. You don't want to sell. Like when you do cold emails, you don't want to go in with the mindset of, I just want the call and be horny for that call and push the call. You want to be there to help these people and to actually provide value for them and to not just be like everyone else in their inbox fucking doing the exact same thing, because these guys are getting hundreds of emails a day, bro. So it's your job to stand out in their inbox, to do things differently, and to take those extra measures. After you guys have a lead magnet that's tested, that your ICP likes, that's easy to make, takes about like 30 minutes, that shows that you're competent, you actually know what you're talking about, then starts the lead mag delivery. This is actually when you will make it, and most people think like you actually make it before, but you'll be wasting a ton of time doing that, bro. Not gonna lie. So you want to just say that you already made it, and then as soon as someone says, yeah, sure, send it over, then you actually make it. And it shouldn't take more than an hour. It should take less than an hour, and you want to make it very specific. You want to have all the information accurate. So what we do is we use the new deep research setting with ChatGPT 5, and we basically plug in a prompt and get a full report of their company and specific achievements and their exact bottlenecks and how many people they have. Next, in these lead magnets, you want to make them very professional. You want to make it have a professional feel to it. It's not just lead magnet. It's the value. It's the attention to detail. It's the logo around it. It's everything, bro. Next, tailored and value packed. You don't want to fucking give them something half-assed, because the reason they will get on the call is if they actually found it useful and if you actually gave them a ton of value. Give them the whole farm. In that one piece of your service, just give away the sauce. Don't be afraid to do that. So here is the prompt. If you guys want to just screenshot it with chat and then get it to reiterate, you can do that. But we head on to chat, tell it to do deep research on this company, help me fully understand it. You have to be very specific with your prompts. And chat will take about 5-10 minutes to make the full report. After that's done, we'll actually start the the lead mag delivery. So what we did was outreach scripts. So instead of just giving them a one-page doc that doesn't look branded or doesn't look professional, we did everything else in our control to make it look like it took a lot of time. So that's just like it, and it's simple things like adding our logo up here, adding their logo right there, adding their company name, prepared by our company for their name and their title. It was made on this date. Boom. And then you give them something that you obviously know how to do very well. And I know how to do copywriting very well for B2B outreach. So that was something that I did. And you just give them 3 outreach scripts, make it look clean. Then after that's done, it's at the first 5 are going to take a while to figure out. And that's why you want to start SOPing the full process here. Okay, so after doing about 5 to 10 of these, and you basically get a feel for it, how it works, some of the weaknesses with it, then you can make a full SOP on this exact process, step by step, to make them more consistent and quicker to make. Okay. So right now we actually have a VA doing, or we have a VA now that will be doing these reports for us. And we're paying her about $30 an hour. And since we already made an SOP for this full process, even she can do it just by reading instructions. You want to make these very detailed. Like when you make these SOPs, think like you're going to give it to somebody that doesn't really understand English that good. It should be very clear. To do that, I use the DDD method. You might have heard this from Alex Hermosi, but it's do, demonstrate, and document. So after you have a full SOP, then you can start shortening the time gap of reply, like, yeah, sure, send it over, and them actually getting the asset. And every time you do it, it should be getting shorter, and it should be getting easier to make. After you have their lead magnet asset, whatever, completed, all right, then you actually have to send them the email. And the point of this next email is to actually get them on the call. You want to make them think, this guy knows something I don't know, and this guy can help me get to point A to point B. That is your main goal, and you want to be perceived like that, okay? Like, this guy knows something I don't know. So the CTA, this should be non-intrusive. You want to mention that it took time to make. And the next is a very light tone. This is our exact CTA we used after they said sure, send it over. So we would say, glad to hear that first name. We actually spent a bit of time digging into company name, the model, target market, and how you're likely approaching outbound right now as a title. Would it make sense to set aside like 15 minutes this Thursday or Friday noon EST so I can just walk you through the scripts and explain how to get 30 to 50 new qualified meetings per quarter using them? Totally up to you. I'm leaving this with you regardless. Put the outbound scripts in there. Cheers. Banger. So the stats on this were ridiculous. Like, out of every 10 people that said sure, and after they got this follow-up, we would at least book 3 to 4 of them for a call. And that's very good if you know numbers. Like 3 to 4 booked calls out of 10 random leads from fucking Apollo. That's super good, bro. And the next is the psychology of pre-work. This all ties back into psychological aspects, and especially the law of reciprocity. So when you tell someone you already spent time digging into their company and you even built an asset for them that's tailored, you trigger that. So now they're more likely to do you the favor of saying yes, of getting on this call because you already did something for them. Humans feel compelled to respond or reciprocate when someone invests effort on their behalf. And it lowers that resistance. And that is your main goal, is to cut that friction, right? Because it's a cold email. And a lot of cold emails on the first initial point of contact, it will be like an offer and then what you do, all about yourself, and then you ask for a call. And that's a hard ask, you know? What did you do for me? In this case, it's like, I already gave you something. I already gave you an asset tailored to your company. Do you want to just hop on a call? You can benefit from it. I can tell you how to get another 30 to 50 qualified meetings from using these scripts I gave you and how to implement that. And on these calls, we obviously leverage our knowledge in this, and they get a sense of like, okay, these guys know what they're talking about. Why not just do it for us? We're not pushing for any sort of sales calls. We just want to help these people out. And in return, we will get fucking people wanting to work with us. You want to work with outer intention, bro. What the other people want. And that is value. That is free stuff. That is, okay, can you actually help me? And how can you help me? Future pacing with tangible outcomes. So we stated a specific outcome. We can get you 30 to 50 new qualified meetings just by using these scripts. And this ties the CTA to a real, quantifiable, tangible ROI instead of just saying learning or chatting. It's vague sometimes. So people are obviously more likely to say yes to this because they're hopping on a call for a specific reason. And we set that expectation on that cold email. You'll learn this for completely free. Do you want to hop on a call? That is basically it. And then it all comes down to optimizing, obviously. You'll get a bunch of feedback at the end of doing these a few times of people saying like, oh, these scripts are XYZ, or they'll give you objections like this information's wrong. And you yourself, you want to hold yourself accountable to noting down all of these objections and all of these like to all of this feedback. And with that feedback, it's super valuable. It's data. And you can then refine the lead magnet to make it even better. Or you can add another section with, for example, an outbound strat with the scripts. That is your goal, and to obviously make it quicker. But with the SOP, that should already be established. This strat right here has been ripping for us, and I really suggest you guys to try it out, implement it, and I'm sure you guys will see insane results. It makes you different from the inbox, makes you stand out. It has all of the aspects of a winning cold email framework. If you guys got value from this video, just comment down below. Or if you guys even want this little framework, whatever I cooked up, just comment framework down below and I'll send it over. God bless. And I'll see you guys for day 238 tomorrow. Peace.